growing up, I never struggled with other people. At least not until when I was 9 years old. So I grew up in San Jose, and I was always surrounded by a bunch of Asians, and it was heaven for me because I didn't have to deal with all the racial slurs that I dealt with when I moved to Texas. So in elementary school, it was okay. I was one of one Asians at my school, but elementary schoolers, they're just innocent and happy, and it was fine. And 6th grade came along, and I joined the band, and I was very advanced in math, so I had my own little group of people with that. But I was one of 2 Asians, and that started impacting the way people treated me for some reason. I started getting called Shanghai, Hong Kong, Chink, some like Asian food names really randomly out of the blue. I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm not even Chinese, I'm Korean. Like, call me Seoul if you want. And then I was taking Algebra 2 in 7th grade, and apparently that was like so far above everyone else that they felt the need to call me a nerd. I joined band, that made me a geek, I could violin, and that better not be my laptop, but can you just shut it? And so I eventually just came to terms with the fact that not everyone can like me, and because I'm Asian, I'm going to struggle a little bit more in Texas. And 7th grade came around, and there's this scrawny kid in middle school. His name, I'll just say it's Adam. And he felt the need to constantly berate me every class. Thank God I didn't have math with him, but English, history, science, every time I scored better than him, he would feel the need to make a racial comment or bully me in some way. In gym class, if we were playing basketball and I made a basket, he would shove me and say, Asians aren't supposed to be good at basketball. And then there's this one instance, and it's so jarring and shocking. 8th period bell rang, I got out of class, and I was walking downstairs, and all of a sudden I hear from behind me, hey, Shanghai. Hey, Hong Kong. Hey, Chink. I turned around, saw it was Adam. I didn't want it. So I just started walking, and then I feel 2 hands come around my throat like this. And he's not higher ground, so I couldn't even kick him back. And 5 seconds in, I finally realized, I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually getting strangled right now. This is unbelievable, but it's actually happening to me. And then 20 seconds in, I started feeling lightheaded, and then finally someone shoved him away, and I booked it to the principal's office. And then she wasn't even in, and the vice principal was. And I started just telling her what was going on. She's like, hey, hold up. You need to write a statement first. And I was like, okay, do you see my neck? There's hand marks here. Something really bad just happened. And she says, no, you need to write a statement first. And I said, okay, I'll write the goddamn statement. So I wrote it. It took 10 minutes. Then I handed it to her. She read it. That took another 5 minutes. And then she's like, okay, so what do you think would make someone strangle you? And I said, I don't know. I don't know why he's bullying me. I'm Korean. Maybe that's why. I'm taller than him. I don't know. Am I smarter than him, and he feels the need to just constantly put me down? What's going on here? And she's like, well, I don't know, but you must have done something about it. Honestly, yes, I did backtalk him a little bit when it got really bad, when he was cursing me out, shoving me all around the gym and the hallways. And she said, okay, well, you bullied him, he bullied you, so you're gonna get 3 days of in-school suspension, and I'm gonna call your parents right now after I pick you up, and he's also gonna have 3 days of in-school suspension, and you guys work out your differences. And my parents came in, and I told them what happened, and they just went all out. Okay, my dad's the most conservative Christian that you'll ever know. But he was like cussing out this vice principal. And eventually she's just like, okay, you only have one day. And I'm still like, did I physically harm anybody? Did I do something so bad that it warrants in-school suspension? But I did that. But that night I went home and I took a knife and I went to the bathroom and I locked the door. And this was by far the lowest moment of my life. Like, I've had suicidal roommates in college. I had a roommate who wanted to fight me in college. But those were nothing compared to what that was. Because I was 12 years old, going through puberty, questioning people, questioning values, questioning everything, just being, you know, an angsty person in general. And then I went in and I started just crying, and thank God my mom heard me, because she knocked on the door. She tried to unlock it. Eventually I unlocked it for her, and she just came in and gave me a hug. And she said, you know, no matter how bad your life is, there's always going to be something worse. And she's a musician. She did a voice major in college. And she said, there's this guy named Dmitry Shostakovich. And it wasn't just one guy after him. It was the entire Russian government. He had to sleep outside on his doorstep because he was scared that his family would get hurt when they came for him. And so then I listened to some of his music, and it's just him expressing all of his political frustration, all of his pain. And she's like, you know, you have a gift in violin. You have a talent that God gave you, and you should use it. You should let it be your therapist. Let it be there with you when you're on top of the world. And so from that, and I'm just going to read the end of my Juilliard statement of purpose essay, because it's very relevant to what how this impacted me. So I believe that it is my responsibility to the world to provide music to those who are in need of spiritual uplifting, and to help spread the realization that no matter our beliefs and views, our outward appearance, and our past quarrels, at a basic level, we are all the same species and should be there for each other to aid and not destroy.